Good to see everybody. Just want to start off by thanking the fans. I know that today is the last day for the fans to come out to training camp. It's been a great turnout. I know our players really enjoy that, really bring the enthusiasm, the energy. So just a shout out to them. And also the people that work the training camp. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that in terms of setup, in terms of security, in terms of all the logistics that go into that. So I just want to thank the support staff as well for their time during this training camp. As you all saw, we activated Karan. Again, he's working back in. We feel real positive where he is in terms of his level of where he's at, individual, and then kind of working in from there, and we'll see how it progresses. So we're excited about that as well. And in terms of the game on Thursday, the majority of the starters will not play in that game. We feel really good about our process, the plan that we've had in terms of the range of plays for certain players. The range of competitive in terms of competitive reps, we feel really good about that with our joint practices and going ones on ones the entire time. So we feel really good where we are there. And again, we got a day-to-day that's a padded practice stud, and we're going to get after it pretty good today on first, second, and third down. And it's going to be a good practice today. With that, I'll open up to questions.
Where's Caleb fall in the plan for Thursday?
Yeah, he's not playing. So it's most of the starters. So we'll look at some guys that have lower numbers, and some of those guys, and we'll have that discussion finalized later tomorrow morning when we do our participation meeting. He will not play in the game. Yeah, it's good. It's good. He's just working through some soft tissue stuff, but we feel really confident where he is.
With 43 snaps of a sample size for Caleb in the preseason, what's your biggest takeaway from those two games?
Yeah, just much of what I said. Just the process of being able to get into the huddle, make the call, be clean, get to the line, look at the shot clock and say, okay, this is a little bit low, and move guys around fast enough to get the snap off, have awareness. And then really do a good job of at the line of scrimmage to be able to adjust to what the defense gives you, and make your adjustments from there. And I think it's been clean. And then post snap, I think he's been relatively good in terms of going through his progressions, making good decisions, taking care of the football in the pocket with two hands and moving around there when he has have to do that. But overall, I thought a good preseason for him.
Shane said yesterday that he's been pleased with how when Caleb comes off, even before he gets the Surface Pro, to look at the play, he's already knows what went wrong, how he can diagnose it. How have you noticed him in just that learning on the fly and being able to diagnose what went wrong without being told this is what went wrong?
Yeah, I think once he's learned the offense and knows where everybody's supposed to be, then he can really start to dissect of where the breakdown happened or what the case may be. But he's always done a really good job of that. He can see a lot of things and chunk a lot of information on the field for sure. He's always been great at that, understanding space and where people are. And he's been really doing a good job of coaching the other guys and helping those other guys, and they've been helping him. So it's been a process of, two-way communication. So it's been good.
What's the focus of the plan when you have 20-some days between Thursday night and the starters obviously not playing, and then week one? How do you?
Yeah, it's really three things. Number one is to stay in condition. We got to stay in condition because we practice really hard, and we got to maintain that conditioning level. That's got to be the key. Maintain your fundamentals through drill work, through teamwork. That's got to stay sharp because that's what wins football games. And then stay healthy. And that's really to get into the first game the best way we can. And we have a really good plan in place for that. I know it's a lot longer time than it's been in the past, but we feel really good about the process.
When do you start, Caleb, specifically on Titans work? Or do you get into even Texans and Colts work at a certain point before the season starts with them?
Yeah, we do as coaches for sure. We've been doing that, all season and working into that. So preliminary plans on those. But with him, we're going to wait. We're going to wait a little bit for that. It'll be into next week when we start working on Tennessee.
Did the plan change at all, Caleb? Was it always this is how you expected it to go with him not playing the last preseason game?
No, it was an open plan. So we had an open ending to it. So we wanted to see how it progressed. We kept an open mind about it, and all of us were all on board to do flex and move wherever we needed to. And I think that shows adaptability in terms of the veterans that were playing there, understanding of where he is, and he did a good job of progressing.
What do you wanna see from him now over these next 3 weeks, like the next steps to be ready for week 1 when it counts?
Yeah, just competing like he's been doing, rising to the challenge like he's done, leveling up every single time that we've asked him to. That's important that he does that. And we're gonna give him different looks on defense and different things that we're putting in for the season that we want on our menu board defensively. And we're challenging our players right now to learn those. Because what you do is conceptually as offense and defense and kicking is you put the concepts in, and it seems like a lot to the players, and it is. But those are things that you're going to pull off your menu board. It's not something that is brand new to the player. Okay, this is this concept that we talked about, during the week 3 or week 4 of training camp, and you're able to pluck those things off to have multiplicity in your scheme. So that's what we're going to end up doing with the offense, continuing to do with the offense, the defense, and the kicking.
From the moment you drafted Caleb and made him the #1 quarterback to now, what is it about him that has made this plan look like it's gonna work?
Well, he's a great learner, very smart. He works really hard, but he's also able to work with others. He's compatible personality-wise, instinct-wise to be able to communicate with people, and his willingness to learn. Some people like you first time you meet him, it's like, man, this guy is a know-it-all. You know what I mean? You get that feeling. Not about any of you guys, but it kind of turns you off, right? A little bit. He is not that way at all. This guy has had tremendous success. Heisman first pick in the draft, very successful as a college player, and his willingness to learn is second to none. I mean, he just wants to grab the information, learn, and get better. And when he does have adversity, he rises to the challenge, and that's what you want from your quarterback.
Matt,
There's
is there,
very few people on this roster, I think 3 of them have been on the team for more than, a few years. What's it like to watch them kind of come together, figure out what they want the team to be, what they want the franchise to mean, and how would you characterize that?
It's nice. It's nice, because we do a lot of things in the spring to bring the team together. Through our skull sessions, through things away from here, and getting together. And it's been authentic, genuine, and I trust the leadership of this team. More than I have in the past. It just seems like this group is coming together really fast. It's got a good blend of youth and a good blend of veteran presence, and strong leaders in both cases. So it's been fun to watch. And again, we got a lot of work to do. We have a big step ahead of us this week in terms of these next 2 practices, and then going to Kansas City and coming back from there. We will utilize our time when we're in Kansas City with walkthroughs at the hotel, meetings, and continuing to improve as we go.
with Yannick Ngakoue, he was on your team last year, I know you guys have followed his recovery. Do you guys have a sense of how healthy or ready he would be if you wanted him to come back?
Yeah, I don't have a sense. That would be Ryan and his crew doing that. They're looking at all the players, and they're looking at every roster now for what we might do after the cut down and all that. He's been working tirelessly with his crew, and he's got a handle on all that.
Based on what you saw from him last year?
From the pass rush, I mean, Ryan's publicly talked about the Matthew Judon and being in on the mix on that. Is there something still missing from your pass rush that you'd like to see added before the start of the season?
I feel really good about where we are in terms of with Book and Walk and and Dom, all those guys that are in that other spot, and those guys have different skill sets that they bring to the table, and those guys play really hard. And the first thing in defensive line play is having a great motor, and those guys have really improved, and they've done a good job with that.
Would Ngakoue help you? Would Ngakoue help you coach him last year? Do you think he would help this roster?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into hypotheticals. I do like him. I like him as a man. I like him as a worker. He certainly has done good things for us in the past. But again, that's speculation and other things like that. So, but again, I do love him in terms of the man and the player.
Coach, you said that Coach Washington was devising the practice plans, and you were reviewing them and adding them at your soft head, and he was calling plays for the preseason. Are you going to retake play calling when the regular season starts? And what does that process look like in terms of what his duties will be through the week and on Sundays versus what they are now?
You didn't know I called the 2 first series in Buffalo then?
I didn't know that.
Okay, well, I did. So, but Herb, no, it's good though to be able to work through that exercise. I'll call some periods in practice just to stay sharp, and I wanted to do it in Buffalo because I wanted to make sure that we're the communication was right and the process was there. But again, he's called most of it during preseason, but I'll be calling it during the season.
Who called Kyler's blitz?
What's that?
Who called Kyler's blitz?
Kyler did, no.